Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Stud and Dud presented by the Dallas School of Music. Thank you all for listening. I'm Josh Smith. With me each week, the Doc, Dr. Bob Lawrence. The Doc, it's very relatable to what we're going to talk about today. Dr. J. Basketball.
I love it, man.
All things basketball. Certainly got to dive into it. Can't ignore it. We got to give a little hockey talk, too. I've thought about this. I'm like, we got to give, it's one of the major sports. Some people, if they don't like hockey, we got Dallas Stars here rolling and going, too, by the way.
Rocking it.
We talked about how they look for them again in the Western Conference Finals, essentially.
Correct.
And then hopefully can maybe, but man, so anyway, thanks again last week for Steve joining us. I kind of put it on there kind of just to it's the intro to tease him in. But I just was like, man, Steve, our first returnee. You kidding me?
He came back.
The stud came. Yeah, right. Hey, we didn't know if studs would come back or not.
I was.
They're like, they leave and go, what was that?
I asked him to come on. He said yes. I went, huh?
Oh, especially when it's all things.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Well, when it's all things baseball, he was down.
Correct.
Which that was last week's episode, certainly. On tap today. You got a what's up, Doc, for us or what?
Yes, I do.
I'm sure you do.
Of course I do.
I bet you do. I can't wait to hear what it is because this week I don't have to steal any thunder. I was like, I'm going to leave that all to Doc. I don't want to put any weird story. Recap and preview. We'll roll through that real quick. The college football, NFL, fantasy football. Finally dive into all things basketball. Obviously teased multiple times. But what is that all things basketball? Final four predictions. We'll talk a little college basketball. Our NBA finals predictions, which we gave ours last year. Mine's kind of similar to last year's, by the way. And we'll also do the one thing I could not wait to do. The all-time starting five lineup for your basketball. Who you got? Our 5-on-5. It's these guys versus those five. Who do you want? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I kind of teased this beforehand. I called 103.7 the show with no name. So Roger Dad Buzz called Roger Dad Basil called those guys this morning and had their take. What's your top five? Unanimously, most likely, most of them were Magic and Jordan and Bird at the top three. And kind of, is it Wilt? You got Kareem down low. I mean, we're gonna get into all the different names. But then the kicker, I was like, all right, here's one. It would be, who's your coach? Who you got coaching that group? That's another good one, too. We can just add that to it today, but definitely your all-time starting five. But first, next week, and that could be today's show since we're going to be off next week.
Yes.
You got a big trip ahead of you.
I love it,
Your
man.
yearly trip. It's Thanksgiving. It's Turkey Day.
Hey, dude, I'm already in the spirit. It's cold here.
Cold,
I'm
rainy.
bundled up. It feels like Thanksgiving. Leaves are changing and falling.
There's going to be
It's
some warm
getting
food
cold.
that's
Man,
been cooking all day.
I'm heading up through, hey, man, you'll get a kick out of this. This is hilarious.
All right.
Because we're going up to the Ozarks.
Right. Last year, y'all made your baseball trip, too. Remember that?
That's right. We did. So this year, we're heading right back to Big Cedar. It's Thanksgiving tradition. We're going up there and hanging out for a week. And I cannot even believe my children said this. They said, Dad.
We got to stop at the...
They said...
I knew it.
They did.
got to.
They said, we're stopping at the Catfish.
Now, I'm going to have to start Harlan at Dave Van Horn, DVH, because you saw they have the top number 3 recruiting class. So you're getting studs. So I'm like, hey, I'm sure he's kind of on y'all's radar. I know you're getting studs already. But come on, let's hook up Gardner with the scholarship because he want to be eating the Catfish all the time.
You know what? I don't think it's going to happen, man, because he was talking to me the other day. They've got, I think, 3 catchers.
And there you go. That's the thing, too.
They've got
already,
3 catchers signed in his class.
Woo.
3.
3.
So 2 of those boys ain't going to be starting
Exactly.
in that class.
Oh, exactly. Well, you can't start all of them. You can't even start but one, but yeah.
So it's a roll of the dice. When you go to a program
Big
like
time.
Arkansas,
Or like, and it reminds me, like, and obviously, like, if you get stacked at a position, but it's happened where Arkansas would be stacked at running back, and you're like, why? Or this point being, especially you go to Alabama, unless you're the dude coming in and they don't, point being, there was a 5-star running back that did not go to Arkansas that went to Bama, and he sat on the bench until year 3.
Yeah.
Because you're going to Bama, and what do they usually have there?
Yeah.
Running back.
It's a roll of the dice.
So you're instead of going somewhere and starting right away.
Correct.
You're going to go, well, I'll sit till, and hey, it's Bama, so I'll sit till year 3. But then do I even still, will I get injured? Does the dice roll my way?
Listen, Gardner keeps bringing up, he goes, hey, Dad, he goes, Max Scherzer, where did he go to school? Oh, yeah, University of Missouri. Yeah. He's doing okay.
Yeah. It doesn't matter where you go, it's where you shine.
It's exactly right. And so there's a lot of consideration there. And Arkansas, man.
I just love it, though. Arkansas, that's the top 3. So look for us again. Oh, my gosh. Hopefully, one catch away, essentially, to...
You know what most of these college coaches are recruiting, though? This is very interesting because now that we're in the thick of it, they recruit heavy on, like, shortstops. And
multiversatile, maybe, is why?
Well, yeah, because I think they're thinking... It's interesting because I think they're thinking, well, just like the Cubs moved Javier Baez over to second, right now he's back at short.
Exactly. You move him to third.
They can move, right? Bregman was a shortstop. Where does Bregman play right now?
Third.
Third.
Or one of the
Right.
Jeter did it, I think, towards the end, but Alex Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, where'd he go?
Yeah,
Right.
third.
So I think with these college coaches, it's interesting to watch all the recruiting. They load up on shortstops because they're going like, dude, yes, we've recruited 3 shortstops, but if you don't start at short, we're going to move you to third.
Yeah, exactly.
Or we're going to move you to second.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Nice to have. So definitely going to stop at the Catfish Hole.
Catfish Hole. We're going
Got to, right?
Yeah.
So when y'all head up?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. So you're getting Tuesday. Catfish Hole's Tuesday.
Well, be eating lunch at the Catfish Hole on Tuesday.
That's awesome, man.
I'll be thinking of you, man, as I'm throwing back those
Definitely send some pictures.
hush puppies.
Oh, God. Lucky you. I'll be there, well, hopefully sometime next year since we'll see. We'll see what the whole move thing. We don't know. But, man, my point being, I want to get started because we haven't been there in a while. We need to get back to Arkansas, especially Northwest Arkansas. I hadn't been there, and gee golly. Oh, my gosh. Gee golly. Well, I sound like I was on Green Acres right there. Gee golly, I hadn't been there in about 3 years there, Ed. So anyway, but yeah, I got to get back up there. It's beautiful land too. I mean, this time of the year, hopefully with the rain coming through and hadn't knocked down too many leaves.
It's going to be cold. It's going to be chilly, but we're going to be there in that cabin, man, with a nice toasty fire, eating good, enjoying. It's going to be fun.
And that could be today's episode. All things Thanksgiving, since we're off next week. But we'll save that for the week after. We'll have a nice big food episode again. Be great to have Kent back on.
The stud of studs.
Mr.
When it comes to the
Rathbone.
kitchen,
Oh,
when it comes to
man.
the kitchen, man.
I'm still waiting for that invite, by the way.
Yeah. I just had a student, gentleman that I teach guitar to, just did a cooking class with him this last weekend.
Oh, wow.
And he actually went up to him and said, "Hey, man, how'd you enjoy Stud and Dud?"
Really?
So Kent went off. And
That's awesome.
He said, "Oh man,
Got to get him back on then.
Yeah.
Maybe, like I said, try to get him on that because we're definitely, the point being, we'll go back to the Mount Rushmore of Thanksgiving food.
Oh. We're going to go Mount Rushmore. Well, that's for next week. But we need to do a Mount Rushmore.
We'll have them on, and we can do it at the same time because it's all things food. I mean, that's not going to take the whole show, but we're going to talk about what are your top 4 dishes you got to have. It's hard, and I've already got mine locked down. I think you got to have most likely turkey. You got to have a meat parley. Then you have 2 side dishes. Are you going to go 3 side dishes and no dessert? Are you going to go 3 side dishes and dessert? Are you going to go all side dishes? There's so many things you could do.
I actually like a Texas turkey on Thanksgiving. You know what a Texas turkey is?
What's
right?
this?
Texas turkey?
Yeah, well, no, I never
It's
heard
a
of it.
ribeye.
Oh, wow. There you go, really. I got to have turkey. No way I'm not going turkey on Thanksgiving.
Well, that's a classic.
Yeah.
But a Texas turkey ain't bad either.
Oh, well. I can have that any day of the week. When are you going to have a deep fried turkey?
Well, that's true.
When are you going to have sweet potato casserole? When do you have green bean casserole? You ain't kicking that all the time.
First of all, I never want a green bean casserole.
Well, what's crazy, and I'll put that on here. I put the link on here. I won't go through it yet, but next week I'll print it out. Popular Thanksgiving dish in every state.
Green bean casserole.
And I want to say this state's was because it was green bean casserole because they did the go-to dish, the go-to dessert, which a lot were pecan pie. And I'm like, man, that's old school. Who's eating pecan pie anymore?
Let me tell you about the green bean casserole is the YMCA of the food world.
Hey,
you know what I mean by
it's
that?
easy to cook is why.
Because in the music world, I keep going like, why does the song YMCA continue?
It's catchy.
Come on, man. It's
Like, why does any song? Because they're catchy.
YMCA, come on. Can we put it? Can that come to a close?
It never will.
Right?
Hey, but I know, trust me. There are a lot of songs that are like that. They say like 3 words the whole song, essentially, and you're like...
I mean, every wedding
and it's like a chant song.
Every wedding I go to, they got to play YMCA.
Got to.
I go, okay, I'm going to the bathroom.
Right, yeah. Here's my break. Here's when I go to the bathroom. There you go.
Right.
That's great for you then.
And every house I go to at Thanksgiving, are you serious? Green bean casserole? Can we put it away?
How about the sweet potato casserole? You gotta love that.
Well, that's all right.
That's all right.
But
where are you, boy? Oh, that's right. You're old northern boy. You don't like the good southern food. That's why.
Well, yeah, that's right.
That's another
Black
thing.
eyed peas. Oh, that's New Year's Eve. Oh, that's right.
And those are so good. And that's what's so funny. Avery didn't like them, and I promise you. And hopefully you'll get this chance. If my dad came over, or my mom can cook them too, but my dad cooks you his raised in the South, so he'll cook you his pork. And he did this big thing on the show, and all these people he'll cook his pork chops, some black-eyed peas, and some mashed potatoes, and he'll cook all homemade, and especially the
for
gravy.
New Year's Day. I mean,
this was like I would want this once a week if I could have it.
Yeah,
that's how good. I'm telling you. The point being, Avery did not like black-eyed peas. I fed him. I was like, come on over here and have some good Southern food, like your grandma's cook. Died. Just was like, these are the best because they're greasy. I mean, dude, they are. You'll eat it and be like, this isn't a black-eyed pea. I'm like, it is. And then here's another one. She didn't like meatloaf. You like meatloaf?
meatloaf.
See, here's another one too. Exactly. It's hard. You got to have it cooked right.
It's got to be meatloaf's got to be done.
She hated it because her mom cooked it and she was proud of it. Her mom was, but Most of the kids were not so proud of it. They're doing the. I'm like, come on, once again. And my mom, here's what her two was usually cook with it because I don't. This is the combo, black-eyed peas and mashed potatoes and gravy. Oh my! I'm telling you, Doc, it'll melt in your mouth.
Okay,
but it's like anything. Well, not anything like burgers, pizza. If you can't cook a burger, pizza. But there's certain things if they're not like what are they called? We love it. Brussels sprouts. You get asparagus. If they're not cooked right, those things they're probably not. They can very easily be gross.
Well, that's a good point. But I will tell you that right now, even though I live in the South, I'm not a big black-eyed pea guy, not a big fried okra guy, not a big grit guy. All right?
Yeah, grit's another one. Avery, I can't sell Avery the grits. I'll load it up with butter and sugar and everything and southern it up. She's like, "What is this? Can we have some real?"
Right?
I know. Okay, I'm right. I get the point. But I had Spam growing up. I had Vienna sausages.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? I mean, come on, exactly. You kidding me, dog? I'm in the South.
This explains a lot.
That's exactly.
That had a mental impact on you.
Oh, yeah, right.
That actually caused a little brain damage upstairs.
That's why you see this every once in a while. You see a little cousin Eddie come out.
Yeah, you've eaten a little too much Spam.
Too much canned meat. Too much canned meat.
Yeah, Spam.
All right, but regardless, our top 4 dishes. You got it. We're going to go into that. Can't wait because there's so many dishes, and I'll have this website pulled up, and we'll go through what they broke down. I guess it's what bots. I don't know how they did this. I'll see how it's an article they just came out with, so which was cool. I kind of saved it. I was like, I'm gonna save that for next week's show, so we'll go through that for sure. But yeah, try to get Ken on too, and then we could do.
Yeah, because I'm gonna ask him about Spam.
Yeah. Oh God, we should.
I just want to see what Kent Rathbun says.
Because he says, hey, watch. I could see though him make a twist. Like, hey, if you cook that right, I can get that and put it on the grill.
Well, if anybody can make Spam taste,
that's what I'm saying. I can say
you'll
be loud. Like I say it. Exactly.
But even with him at the helm, I might even say, hey, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the best on the Spam.
I'm out, man.
I love it. All right, and this is what I love too this time of the year because it's the big end of the year movie season.
Yes.
You're going to see any of them. I'll just kind of run through them. Obviously, Frozen 2 this weekend, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, which Avery wants to see. That's the one about Mr. Roger.
Yeah,
that'll be a good one. Then in the December, we have Jumanji 2, Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker, kind of the end of the so-called, Skywalker and that trilogy, the arc that they've made with those 9. And then we have Cats, too, which I'm kind of weird that they're making that into a movie. It'll gross money. I know it will because all the different people in it, singers, art. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we'll go see, but we'll go see as a family.
I bet Jumanji. I bet would be a good one for y'all.
Yeah, but we love doing the whole family. We go as a family.
I know.
We get the popcorn.
Oh yeah, I love that.
The kids love it.
So I love when we go up to Northwest Arkansas and we take her sister's kid. Try to go exactly. That's what they did every year for Christmas. Right. They'd go see a movie.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's beautiful.
It's fun.
Well, that's something we need to get Steve Kent back on. We'll talk. We'll make it more family related one day.
Family
you
program.
Talk the kid into me a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's get a little bit more real.
Hey, promise me one thing. If you have a kid, don't you ever, under any circumstance,
Spam.
Serve him Spam. Or her.
If it's...
I'm going to report you to Child Protective
Services. Zombie apocalypse, we're loading Spam up.
Child Protective Services are going to be visiting your house, dude.
Trust me, he'll be getting those pork chops.
Okay, I'll go with that.
There we go. All right, those tomahawk pork chops too. That's what I'm talking about. Those big O daddies.
Yeah, okay.
Let's get to realistic. Well, that's realistic, but even more so. Let's get more real. What's up, Doc?
You know what? This week I thought, you know what? Here's my what's up, Doc.
Do it.
We got Thanksgiving coming up.
Beautiful.
So I'm putting out a public what do they
little
call it?
PSA again, right?
Little PSA, right? Here's what from Stud and Dud. Here's what I want, man. I want everybody to take some time this week and just reflect on their blessings and all the good things in life. Their family, their friends, the blessings of having a roof over your head, some warm sheets that cover you at night when you go to bed, a soft pillow that you place underneath your head at night, just little things. The fact that you're breathing air and people love you and you love others.
Yep.
And it's time, everything gets so volatile in this world, not just this country. We live in the greatest country in the world, but worldwide, it seems to be so much uneasiness and paranoia and anger and frustration that I would just love for everybody to call a big time out this week, man. And really, as the holiday is designed to do, spend it with family and friends and loved ones, and be sure to tell people that you love them and that you're happy that they're part of your life.
It's a week to give thanks, honestly.
There's no doubt.
No,
about
the
it.
day, for sure. But I wish it was more of the week, and it should be since a lot of people are off.
You know what? It
for
should
2 or
be.
3 days.
It should be something that we do every week and every day. Give thanks and count our blessings and tell people around us that we love them and appreciate them. And if not any other time during the week, at least please this.
Yeah.
I mean, during the year, at least please this
Yeah,
week.
and it's so funny too because it's kind of come to that point. Like, it seems the more you talk about it, it's brought up more. It seems like time goes on because people do live in the angst and the living on the edge type world we live in. They're just so. They don't even want to put. Point being, I don't like things. They don't want to see the family members at Thanksgiving. You get my point. I'd rather not put up. I'm like, that's your family. That's the one time. That's to enjoy that. I love going to my family or seeing them bicker. Or Greeny finally had, Pappy would get out the old whiskey he hadn't drank all year and him get a little drunk, and I'm just I'm laughing and enjoying. Like, this is what life and family's all about. This is great. We're all together.
That's exactly
beautiful.
right, man.
Enjoy the great food. You kidding me? Well, definitely one of my probably top 5. It is top 5 days of the year. I mean, like, it's probably the day you leave for whatever vacation, whichever one it is. Maybe my birthday and Christmas. Maybe I don't know about even. Probably but Thanksgiving's there. It's definitely a top 5. Love it. The food. You kidding me? Like I said, you're eating stuff that you have not eaten all year long. Although I make sweet potatoes, but I don't ever make a sweet potato casserole. Love that with little marshmallows on top or whatever your go-to is. You kidding me?
Right.
We've already got our pie ordered. Last week we went and right down the road. It's called Humble Pie. A little shout out to those guys. Love it. Like a little shopping center, like just the smallest probably one in the shopping center. You just hole in the wall, but as soon as you walk in, you open that door, you're like, your mouth's just like, oh my God. So we're going in to get a slice. We're about to pass by. Avery's like, you want to get a slice? I'm like, you're
right.
The wife says, hey, you want to get a slice of pie?
Yeah, how do you say no?
Exactly. So we're in there, and before you know it. And then, of course, because we're talking about getting the one for Thanksgiving. I might as well get it now. And boom, there went the boom. We now got a whole pie waiting for. Well, of course, they said, I said, when do y'all start making them? We'll pick it up on Tuesday. But boom, at home, it's either coconut cream or the chocolate cream. And we went with it. Well, they have different cute little names for it, but essentially, we went with the coconut.
Yeah.
Love it.
So anyway, that's my PSA. But
It's what I'm saying. I'm enjoying that. I can't wait to enjoy that, and then enjoy being like me and Avery are gonna cook with the dogs. We're not gonna be able to go back to Arkansas, but we couldn't wait to see Mom and Dad. You're gonna enjoy the time being up at Big Cedar Lodge with your kids. Going like, you kidding me?
Yeah.
Couldn't be better.
It's gonna be awesome. So and then the
Catfish.
catfish. That'd be great. So then the other part of what's up, Doc, is I gotta ask you this, man. Things go out of style.
Definitely.
Right.
Like bell bottoms, and all of a sudden you're seeing them back again. Like what?
Right. Things go out, or things just go extinct. Like the telephone that used to hang on the wall with the cord attached to it. My kids have never seen that. They don't know what that is. They see it on a picture and they go, what the heck? That's a telephone.
Unless you're cute and have one of those old timey, you want it for fun or cuteness, they're gone.
Right. A record player. What the heck? They're going to record player. What's an album?
That kind of made his weird comeback in the last few years too. You'll see him at shop, you know what I mean? But they're not.
So I got a question for you. That I'm just baffled by this, and maybe you can answer because you're an athletic guy. You played sports, right? Right. When did the jockstrap, man, go out of? When did that die? When did the jockstrap die?
When did protecting yourself?
When did that go away?
Because I don't know, because you'll see guys even, I don't know how they're not fine, because I think they are. I think it was, what's his face? Not Jarvis Landry. It was the other guy, Odell Beckham, I think it was, for the brand. I think it was wide receiver, not wearing knee pads. I'm like, bro. Now, and you see that all the time with him not wanting to wear pads in their legs, and I'm like,
I don't get
you have twigs as legs. Let's not lie. You get one wrong hit, your leg's in half.
Well, when I grew up, man, if you went to play ball, if you went to work out, man, jockstrap was like standard protocol.
That was, I think, one of the first ones going. I think it was just one of those things that even when I played sports, it was like one of those things where it was like maybe uncomfy when you're younger, and it was just, you could just see that was kind of going out the window to stop wearing that. I don't think it was kind of like a mental thing. Like, man, why you like?
I get to get the Under Armour shorts and the Nike shorts now with all the protective stuff built in, It's a little hipper, cooler looking. Yeah. But, the reason I bring it up.
You'll see linemen wearing them, though. You know that because you'll see the big straps sticking out sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they know down in those piles, stuff's going on. So you're going to protect yourself.
So the reason I bring this up is because, Gardner gets up at 5 every morning and works out.
Right.
It's me to go with. Most days I do. Some days I go, dude, you're on your own today, man. But anyway, so I come back from working out. I'm getting ready to shower. I just threw my sweats on the floor, my jock straps on the floor. My youngest boy comes in. He comes in, he goes, "What's that?" I said, "What's what?" And he goes, "That." I said, "Dude, that's a jock strap." Huh? I said, "Yeah, man." I said, "You got to wear those." I said, "It protects your your
nether regions."
Yeah, it protects you down there where it counts, man.
Got to protect the family jewels.
You got to protect, right? And he goes, and I hold it up, and he goes, "Oh my God, what?"
I'm sure him on probably like a sex toy even, I'm sure,
So
or something.
yeah, he
He's
didn't
like,
even
what
know.
is this?
He looked at that and he saw where my legs go through, and he's like, "Ah."
This is such a movie moment.
So I thought I'd jack around with him a little bit, and I said, "You know what, man? I want you to have this." Like I'm giving him,
hand me down.
Like I'm giving him,
you know what?
like I'm giving him.
Hey,
see,
like
you're-
yeah, my thing.
See, yeah.
Here's this old magazine or whatever.
Exactly.
Here are the old shoes.
You're into the
Here are these old
right.
basketball cards.
Right. So
Here's my old jockstrap.
I'm holding up my jockstrap. I said, "Fran, man, I want you to have this." And he's looking at me like, I said, "You know what? It would mean a lot to me the next time you play baseball if you wore my jockstrap. I'd feel like a connection, you and me with it." And he goes, "Dad, not just a pass, but I'm taking a hard pass."
Yeah.
Right. So then I go like this. I said, "You're gonna break family tradition." I said, "These are grandpa's."
Hey, there you go. There you go. See?
Right. And he's like, "Okay, you're creeping me out." So he beats it out of there, right? Next thing I know, Tam's coming back. She goes, "What the heck did you do to Fritz?" I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "He's all freaked out about some kind of jockstrap or something." So anyway, what became apparent to me is that the jockstrap has become extinct.
Pretty much.
Kids don't wear them anymore.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah. Definitely not. I mean,
Like
like,
that.
you see the limited amount of, I mean.
I guarantee you, Dr. J wore a jockstrap.
Oh,
A
sure.
jockstrap.
Rolling around,
Could've called
dunking
it a
on
jockstrap.
people.
Right.
It's just not the way of the world anymore. You're not going to see that.
Who would ever thought the jockstrap would have gone out of
I know.
fashion?
I don't know.
Will one day it make a return, man? You think?
Things come back around. I mean, you never can't count anything out,
Just
right?
slap a Nike logo or Under Armour logo on that
Right.
bad boy, and it will sell.
Good to go.
So anyway, there's my what's up, Doc. Give thanks, and what the heck happened to the jockstrap?
The jock is gone. Hey, it happens. Like I said, like all the different weird things that you do see come around and go back around, and like I said, kind of loop. Just it's weird. It's the way of the world. It's kind of weird how we have.
Bring that up to your dad and Basil.
Oh, especially Basil.
Bring back that
Basil,
say-
what happened to
say-
jockstrap?
Say Doc had a question.
I know you're walking through those locker rooms. Are they still on, those big old boys?
what's-
Besides the linemen, I know those linemen are wearing them.
What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. Good.
Basil wore one. I guarantee it.
Are you kidding me?
He's my age.
There,
right?
you got to.
Right?
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's honestly one of those things where I don't know.
Here's a challenge. Go to Dick's Sporting Goods this afternoon. Go up to the counter. And
There
say,
you go. Hey, you got jock
Hey,
straps?
where's your jockstrap?
Hey, see what the reaction is.
And the people working
Yeah.
there, the young guys are going, what?
Yeah, you go to Amazon.com.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
yeah. We'll it's something to literally look into to see where, because you don't see those anywhere. I really want to look into that now. Anytime I'm like going to be even like Walmart in the sporting goods area, I'm going to be like, oh, do they have jock straps? My Avery's like, what the fuck? What are jock straps for? What are you doing athletic that you need a jock strap? I'm like, when I'm working out at home, I'm going to start wearing a jock strap, okay?
Yeah, you want to be safe.
Yeah, but that's funny though. I'm going to start looking now. That's on my mind now. I'm like, I almost want to Google.
Jockstrap.
Let's just do it for fun.
Just Google.
Let's get, because we can pull it up rather quickly. I'll do Google. I love to do these little
In fact,
Google
I like the
searches.
name Jockstrap.
I mean,
man.
come on.
Right?
I mean, it didn't come up with some weird name. You were a jock, man.
You're a jock.
All right, jock strap.
You need a strap. Every jock needs a strap.
Oh, jeez. All right, here
What
we
kind
go.
of jock plays without a strap? Is it in there? It's on there?
Academy. It says Academy Sports right here.
They have jock straps?
It says Academy Sports. Pick up today. So they have it in stock at Academy. There you go. Congratulations. At least Academy's still out there
Shout out
helping.
to Academy Sports. Good
Oh,
for
Old school classic.
there it is.
$6.
There it is, right there.
$6. I mean, there you go.
That there classic design.
You show that to a kid now, he's freaked out.
Yeah,
he's like, you
freaked
wearing a
out.
thong? What are you wearing, Dad? I can see why. I mean, just the way the world, where it's gone to. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just like, what are you doing?
Okay, man.
Real quick, have not touched this. I keep forgetting to bring it up. The No Shave November.
Yeah, I see that, man.
It's still growing out. Just shows the gray a lot more, which is funny. It gets all it grows.
So how long are you going to go with that?
I'll let it grow since we're not doing next week. I would shave. I'll wait till the show after. So the show we come back and do the Thanksgiving show, I'll shave like that day after the show, just to show you a full month of growth, see what happens. I asked Avery the other day, she's like, yeah, let's see what you got. Give me the grizzly look. I'm liking it because I'm usually shave all year round. She likes it this time of the year. Then with shoes, look, the socks a little bit showing. A little old school look today.
Old school.
A lot
I like it.
a lot my Doc look. I mean, honestly, some
That's
Pumas.
You got the Doc look
Right there.
Good for you, man. Looks
Went classic
comfy,
today,
look relaxed.
right? And I love it. So I just want to throw that out today as well. No Jordans, went some
Now
Pumas.
you need a kid. If you had a kid, that would complete the outfit.
Right, exactly. Oh, jeez. All right, recap and preview. Oh, and real quick, back to the movies. We got tickets to see Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker. As soon as those were kind of released, a month or two, or whenever those were ago, going to my place over here at Look Cinemas. Can't wait to see it. So great to kind of see that. I'm sure I'll cry. It's as funny as that is in Star Wars because it's the last one. The Skywalker takes over. Someone's gonna die. You know that, which is good. Yeah. They always kind of let someone you're not like when Harrison Ford died. Oh my gosh, what is his name in Star Wars now? Oh my gosh, mind blank. They even made a movie. I want to say Obi-Wan Kenobi, like a reach. Oh my gosh,
Love Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Harrison. We're gonna use the phone a lot today. You like that? Harrison Ford, Star Wars. Oh my gosh, how can I not think of this? People are yelling at me right now. Like the Star Wars fans, they're just like, "What are you doing? How do you know?" Okay, where is it? Oh my gosh, Han Solo. Duh, what's your classic name? Han Solo. How do I forget? But yes, when Han Solo died, his son Unstone killed him. You think his son's about? Yeah, I probably hadn't seen it, but it was the one that when they restarted this, trilogy back in 2015. They kept it rolling. Everyone was in it, and he was in it. And he actually dies. And you think that the son, his son's going to be the new pretty much Darth Vader and the new super bad guy. And instead of his son pretty much about to hug him, he kills him, and then he falls off into that that thing they always fall down into or whatever. And you're like, no, Han Solo's dead now.
Yeah.
So they'll do something like that where everyone's just like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? You did it. All right, let's get to it. Recap and preview a little college football. Notre Dame.
Yeah.
The streak did end, which is crazy to think. And so, and Nebraska keeps rolling on along. As terrible as Nebraska still is, that is up to now 374. And now, obviously, because there was an article, just looked into it just to make sure. Like, the point being, it was an article now touching to that. It was touching to both, saying how theirs ended, yours, Notre Dame, ended, and how Nebraska's will never be touched, essentially. And it just keeps continuing to go along. And you're just like, how? They're not
and
that.
Nebraska hasn't been relevant in a long time.
And a couple, I'd say a couple. Because relevant as in actually winning big games. I mean, they've been 8 here, 8-win, 9-win here, but they haven't been relevant as in, are they going to be in the college football playoff since the 90s?
Did we talk about in a previous show the rivalries that are no longer?
We should. That should be another great show.
Right?
But no, not really. Yeah,
Like
exactly.
when I grew up, Nebraska, Oklahoma.
Oh, big time.
Whoa.
Arkansas, Texas.
Texas.
For 20 years there at
Right.
least. They just kind of fall apart. They don't play each other, I guess.
Miami, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Was a big rival.
Oh, big time. Especially they'd always meet in the bowl games.
Notre Dame, Miami, big rival. It's
kind of weird to see those. Big news last week, though. I don't know if you saw. I'm sure you saw, but I don't know if you saw the replay. Tua's out for Bama. They get the win, but Tua, that weird little, somehow dislocates his hip. So
But
weird.
Nick Saban's going, geez, I bet on the wrong horse.
Yeah, well, and what sucks is now there's my college football playoff. They're probably done. As in, they can
done.
still go, but yeah.
They ain't
I was
going
like,
to.
there goes my chance. There goes my pick. So now
Yeah.
I'm still over for picks, right? Come on. So I'm like, Patriots.
Who knows? It might be a Notre Dame Alabama bowl game.
Oh, that'd be a good bowl game.
That'd be a good bowl game.
Be a good bowl game. But who's still in it? A lot of the other. We have Clemson. I had Oklahoma in it. And I forgot who my third. Oh, it was Georgia. So Georgia still could. So I still got 3 of the 4 that are right there in it. Anyway, back to the Minnesota. Out. They're out of it now. They could have had a shot because remember they're undefeated at number 8. Well, they finally lost.
Baylor out.
This right after that. As I told you, watch out for that last week. Because
Did you watch that game?
I did. Actually, I did.
I can't even believe that was like 2 different Baylor teams.
Right. Happens. I can get into the NFL part in a minute where it happens. But I told you the week before, especially that battle with TCU in overtime, and especially if they would have blew out TCU, just somehow just cruise past them, they just got a good, had their A game. Point being, they cruise past them, where they can kind of rest. That pushed them last week, and now you've got to mentally prepare and get ready for Oklahoma. It's tough. It's you know what I'm saying. That just was not easy for them to do. Regardless, it was still a great game. I mean, what was the final score again? 34-31. So, yeah, I mean, great game, but exactly. Notre Dame cruises back to it, but they cruise in that game. I remember at one point they were blowing them out. They did blow them out, and Navy's good. I mean, you kidding me?
They took out the starters at halftime.
Yeah, I mean, that's when I remember seeing the score like at half. I was like, whoa, this is blowout city. On to this week. Literally, once again, I love this time of the year. Every night of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there has been a game. God, I love that, Doc.
You love that, huh?
Well,
Yeah, but the NBA's going too. You got
I know, and then you got
basketball.
college basketball. That's what I'm saying. This
You got
time of the year
every-
for me is just like, we'll get into a minute. Arkansas playing really well on the basketball side, which is really crazy. Which, just with the new coach in, they're playing ridiculous, D, which we'll get to. Anyway, this week, big games. Number 8, Penn State at number 2, Ohio State.
Yeah.
That's the big guy.
Yeah.
BC probably should be another good, easy win for Notre Dame. Boston College at Notre Dame. Arkansas, test of the year, baby. They asked me the line of the day. Should they take it or not? And I'm like, actually, I think we should make that. We play at number 1, LSU. The line is 43 or 44
wouldn't
points.
That be a phenomenal upset?
Oh.
Would that not be?
Especially after they just fired the coach and for the new guy.
Yeah, are you in? It's at LSU.
It's at LSU. But still, that would even make it that much more ridiculous.
Hey, crazier things have happened in sports.
Yep, that we know of. Last week, big win for Dallas. Like you said, it was iffy, and it was kind of back and forth game. They had the lead for the most part, but they rolled over they rolled past Detroit, 35-27. Denver, let's get into that. That's what I was wanting to talk about. 20-0 at half. Brandon Allen's looking great. We're literally up 20-0 at the Vikings. Me and Avery leave. God, what did we do last Sunday? We left to go. Oh my God, I forgot. Anyway, we left. I'm like, okay, whatever. We should win. We're up 20-0 at half. They lose 27-23. For 30 minutes after I got home, I was like this, like, even I know as much as I know that's just because I'm that true of a heart of a fan. I'm like, we're up 20. How do you? And it just shows you too how good how close we are. Even last year, I should have wrote that down. The margin of loss this year is like. It's like that. It's like 3, 4, 5 points. It's not that. It's not like we were losing by 20 or 10 and 15 and 41 game. I mean, we're losing by.
That should make you feel a lot better.
Exactly. And that's what sucks. That's what sucks. That's what sucks even worse.
Nail
you're right there.
Nail is nail, man.
Oh, but that's what makes it even worse. Exactly. Is trying to get the good out of it.
Points.
Yeah. So anyway, it's heartbreaking. Certainly heartbreaking. Last week, and the other. Big really just kind of skimmed through the rest of them. There wasn't much to talk about. Patriots got, they kind of continue on, still kind of sit overall number 1 in power rankings. Phillip Rivers just is 4 more interceptions on Monday Night Football, 3 from the previous week, so 7 in the last 2 games.
Did I not say that a few weeks back watching him play against whoever it was? I can't even remember now. I said, man, he looked awful.
I had to bring that up because he had 4 on Monday Night Football, and that was the primetime game that you're talking about.
He had like 2 minutes to go to win the game. Are you kidding me? Brady would have scored 4 touchdowns in 2 minutes.
Yeah, right.
It's like,
exactly.
Are you kidding me?
So anyway, I had to bring that up because like, man, what happened to him? So this week, big win. Speaking of the Patriots, big one for you this afternoon or the Sunday afternoon. The big Sunday afternoon game, Dallas. You know who you play at the Patriots.
Yeah. Dallas wins.
Well, hey, I like how you hadn't been. We're gonna lose maybe to Detroit. Now you beat the Patriots. You're a typical Cowboys fan. Oh, geez. Your second Super Bowl pick up against my Super Bowl pick, so it'll be a good one to talk about when we get back. We'll kind of have to recap both of those. But yeah, your second Super Bowl pick versus mine. But anyway, regardless, it'll be a great game to watch. And then another Sunday Night Football's had a hell of a lineup this year. This one, Packers at the 49ers. So pretty much two of the two Titans in the NFC this year. Battling it out. So Broncos at the Bills. We'll see a 3-7 versus 7-3, and nothing really too much else there to talk about. But man, yeah, Monday Night Football's Ravens at the Rams. So that's actually a pretty good game. But yeah, that'll be a good one to watch on Sunday afternoon. The Cowboys at the Patriots, and then of course we'll get to. I guess we can go ahead and since we're not going to really talk about it next week, the week after you get Turkey Day. So you'll be up there in Cedar. You're gonna watch. Do you always watch the game?
Oh yeah.
How do y'all do food? Y'all cook up there?
We take food and
and then cook it.
The cabin has. The cabin has like a grill and listen, man, it's glamping. Okay,
yeah.
I mean, when I say cabin, they're beautiful facilities up there, right?
Yeah.
But we'll have Thanksgiving dinner there at their historic Warman House, which is lovely. 5-star restaurant. It's
beautiful.
It's awesome.
And then not only to mention the day before or whenever, a couple days would have catfish hole already, kind of.
But we take a bunch of food. And we got the grill there. I'll throw burgers on, dogs, chicken. We do. It's awesome. So it's like all the comforts of home.
Love it, bub. Bears and Lions. That's the first game. Then it's kind of a weird one. It's kind of old school, just super. It was kind of cool. So like, it reminds you of those Super Bowls. Bills at the Cowboys is the Thanksgiving Day game. I forgot. I keep forgetting.
That should be a good game.
It was it was a different. I was like, I knew it was someone different this year. Bills.
We'll be coming off our win against the Patriots, and so it could be a letdown game.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Exactly.
You got to be careful.
Yeah, now we're back to losing to the Bills at home.
We have to be careful.
And the other one, you look to be good, but regardless, I love how there's always that nightcap or 11. They started doing that about 15-ish years ago, 2004, 5, or whenever that was. Saints at the Falcons. So then we'll have that, the nightcap.
Yeah, that would be a good game,
Yep,
too.
so that'll be a good one. And then on Sunday, the slew of games. Anything kind of interesting here? Nothing really speaking.
Hey,
or
you didn't have
popping up.
anything on your little sheet there, did you? About
Vikings Seahawks. I'm going to know football kind of after that. But what?
You didn't have anything on your notes there about the Kaepernick fiasco.
Because I don't. It's just like bringing back up Myles Garrett. Just doofuses. I don't really feel like they're talking. You know what I mean?
Love it.
So
Good
it's just
point.
kind of like, man, remember the show was to
Here's
create
what
positivity. And
So here we go. Here's what we have to say about Kaepernick.
And we're moving forward. Fantasy football this week. Hey, Doc.
How'd I do?
You did. It literally. You just. Here's the thing.
Did I beat you?
You didn't. You actually. But this week you're looking great. You got to leave. Nuke went off for 21 already. And you have anyway. You're up 37-0. But here's the thing, because you put.
Did I screw up?
No, you have Mayfield in there. Where is?
It's hard. I get so busy, man.
What happened to? You dropped him, maybe? I think maybe. Oh, this is a different league. That's why. I was like, what is going on here? I was like, you totally. That was me. So last week, what happened last week? Let's go back to week 11 real quick. I won 127-79. Here's why. Tyreek Hill ended up getting hurt and not playing. Your tight end is still hurt now. He's now questionable.
And I had
this
him in
week.
the lineup.
Yep. You had 37 from Prescott.
See?
You're right there. It's just because you had two guys out. I mean, that hurt you.
And I forgot to do my lineup, man.
Now this and see, Mahomes, you did good because Mahomes, he only had 18 points last week. So you did hella good last week with your lineup.
All right,
it's just,
I'll remember to do my lineup this week.
all right, so this week you're good. You're golden. This week the only thing. Why am I as project? Oh, because here's why. My running back situation. Your running back situation, you need to put Kamara back in. That's why. You need to put Kamara. You just go ahead and put Mahomes and Kamara back in. If you want to, you can leave in Prescott, but you need to put Kamara back in because you took him out when he was. That's what's killing you. Because here's what's helping me. I'm averaged on or I should say, the running back that we're doing one running back. I have McCaffrey. He's average or supposed to get 26.93. You have Nick Chubb in. He's supposed to get 16 points. So there's 10 points right there off the bat. There's the big differential. This week, Kittle is supposed to play your tight. You're back to being good at tight end. We're right there about even. Kelsey, I have a 12.3 on Kelsey. Kittle's 11.4. So you get my point. We're about. And
I got to spend more time on it, man.
Hey, it's all right. You just gotta. You know what I'm gonna start doing?
I got 4 kids, man.
First thing Sunday morning when I get up, before I do
go to
mine.
mass.
What time? What time's mass?
Mass is 10:45.
What time you up? Oh, yeah, exactly. I'm going to text you, and I'm going to say, listen, just look at it real quick and just put your highest projected points in. I'll say, mate, I'll even look at it for you. I'll say, take this dude out.
I got to get my coffee and sit on the
But
patio.
here's the point. The second half of the year, my team's not – that's the thing. Because we got studs. It's not like neither one of us have studs. It's just my half's starting to produce now where yours was producing way more in the first half. It's going to – hey, we still have a few weeks left. Okay.
A lot of football to play.
A lot of football still left to play. We're starting to get down to the end of it, but let's get into now basketball. So we said this was all things basketball. We've kind of talked about this, that, and the other. So now let's spend a little time on some college basketball, some hoops. How much you watching it, Doc? Ever you throwing it on?
A little bit, very little so far. But it's hard to pick college basketball this time of year. Are you kidding me?
It is.
How do you pick? How can you make?
Especially for the Final Four. I know
we don't even have brackets, or we don't.
The bracket would be when we have the bracket, it'll be a little bit more even determined. But then even look at most years, it's so hard because you're like, well, y'all just pick. You almost want to go with the 1 and 2 seeds, but they're not always going to make it. So
you got to go with the New England Patriots of college basketball, Duke. They're going to be there.
Real quick, though, Arkansas head coach, the new guy from Nevada, had no idea that Eric Musselman was going to do with the same players, essentially, which is great. No one left. Through 4 games, they're giving up 46 points per game. That's third best in the nation.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's ridiculous. And that's how you win. And they're first in the SC in free throw percentage.
Yeah.
And that's how you win. You play team ball. You shut down you play great team D, or play D where they can't score.
Play
and then
defense,
exactly,
which most teams don't
right?
do.
And then shoot good from the free throw line, which a lot of people are starting to do.
It's old school basketball.
Love it. Like, I am super impressed. Big test, though, finally next week when they do the SEC ACC challenge. And two, not that they're that great, but they played at Georgia Tech. So a lot of those big.
Arkansas needs something to cheer about, man.
They do. Baseball, well, and what's funny. Here's what we're cheering about. What everyone was retweeting yesterday when I retweeted it to you was us being third, having a third ranked recruiting class in baseball and getting ready for baseball already, essentially. So we need.
How's their wrestling team? Is that pretty good?
Track's always there for us. We've gotten like 40 plus.
Fencing.
Tracks. That's our. We laugh about that. That's your go-to. We have 40 plus national championships. 40 plus national championships in track and field.
Okay.
It's ridiculous.
You go to the Drake relays?
Hey.
No. Okay.
What are you talking about? Come on now, Doc. Here, one thing I did have to bring up real quick, Arkansas, because I did when I was doing a little bit of my research for the Final Four. How many teams have it been? Anyway, most Final Fours ever. Who do you think it is? Who've been to the most Final Fours ever?
UCLA.
Oh, you're right there. Right, North Carolina finally overtook them because they've continued the dominance. They're at 20, UCLA at 18, Kentucky 17, Duke at 16, Kansas at 15. So those are your top 5 when you think of college basketball.
Yeah, right.
Here's what I love, and we used to be right there. We have 6. We're at 9. Wow. We're at number 9 with 6.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow.
It's awesome, isn't it? Because we had so many in that run. I mean, we had 70. I mean, there were so many in about a 15-year run, and then we just slowly nosedived. That's why if we were hoping with Anderson. I think Anderson got us that next bump up. Now we'll see if Musselman can get us to that where we used to be sweet. It was like sweet. We're going to Sweet 16. It's just how far are we going to go essentially back in the day. Right. But yeah, I thought that was interesting to see it. We're still at 6. Obviously still at 6, but that we're at 9th. I was like, man, we're still, like I said, I remember in the 90s when they'd show that stat during our games in the NCAA tournament. Like we were like 7th most wins all time in NCAA basketball, which is nuts to think. Anyway, Notre Dame. Always good too. Which is awesome. Talking about them, they're off to a good start. Arkansas's 4-0. Notre Dame off to 4-1 start. 4 wins since because who did they open up against? Did you see that opening game against UNC?
Oh yeah.
Did you remember that at number 9 UNC? Great game. They only lost 76-65. 4 wins since, looking good. But yeah, I thought that was
tough conference. They play in a tough conference.
Yes, man. Definitely. So I thought that was interesting to see them. They're always really good. I mentioned this last week. Before last whenever it was when Memphis was playing the ineligible player, the James Wiseman guy. Luckily, hopefully they won't get any sanctions because right now it just looks like they're just going to suspend him 12 more games and he can come back. These numbers that are always repeating. January the 12th. So suspended 12 more games, can come back January 12th. So like that's kind of weird. Anyway, but he's eligible again. Essentially, they're going to declare him eligible because the Penny Hardaway, who's played for the Magic with Shaq, he's the coach for Memphis now. I guess supposedly when he was in high school, gave him like 1,000 or 11. I gave him, it's always something.
Right.
On to the Final Four. You already brought up Duke. So you said, who you got? We got Duke.
Duke, North Carolina.
And the 2 ACC teams. All right. Virginia won last year. Remember they beat Texas Tech. Which
things kind of went their way.
Which that's what happens all the time when people win.
I think Kansas. And I'm going to go, my 4th team is the team that's going to win it all. Gonzaga.
Oh, you're going to win Gonzaga getting back to with
Gonzaga.
Man. Be great to see. And you have a lot of teams. They have Kansas. A lot of people have Kansas. And that's my 5th team. They're the teams that made right on the cusp. Kansas. Oh, they're right. Especially they've been stacked lately. And then the stacked ACC. You could have went Virginia, but there's no way you're going back to back, especially anymore. Duke. I mean, you can, but Duke, UNC, Maryland. Look for Duke and UNC, and even Maryland to make some crazy run in the Final Four. Obviously, Duke or UNC, you have them in your Final Four. And like I said, Kansas. They were. But I'm going to go ahead and go already outside on the bubble and who have a lot of people who have these teams. I'm going to go Florida.
Good team.
Very, very good. They have a lot of teams have them. A lot of people have them in the Final Four. I'm like, wow. And it was really looking hard at trying to not get like Duke or another. I'm like, I'm going to go Florida. I'm going to go someone different that gets hot because they started off kind of sluggish, really, too. They were 2-2. They won barely yesterday in the little whatever tournament they were in. I watched the game, actually, when I was doing the show prep. They played today. I forgot who they played today, but they won. Pulled it off in the end. But I like them to somehow get hot later. Not some, but they get hot late in the year. A lot of people are picking them. They're, got a lot of studs, got 2 young studs. I'm going to go with Baylor.
That's interesting. I'm
going to go Baylor as my 3rd Final Four, or 2nd Final Four team, or a 3rd overall with it. A lot of people have Baylor in there as well. God, I wish I had the article pulled up. I do right here. Obviously, Kentucky has been up there too, and a lot of people had Kentucky, but I was like, I don't want to go Kentucky. I thought this one mentioned Baylor. I guess they don't. Yeah, they do. The last year leads the experience with, what was it? Point me in what I wrote down yesterday or thought about. They have 4 guys averaging already 10 points. They have two guys right at 20, one at 20, and then 4 overall over 10 points per game. They score. Now, like I said, I love the defense part. Arkansas plays. That usually what wins. I say Baylor just can get hot, stays hot, and a lot of people, like I said, have them in their Final Four. A lot of the articles I looked up, there's about 6 teams. You have the other 2, essentially Kansas and Duke, and then Florida, Baylor. Now I'm going to go with Louisville to get back to the Final Four.
Boy, wouldn't that be something?
It would be, and they're playing really well early on. All these teams, obviously, that we're speaking of, are playing really well. The same with them. They've got a couple guys, like a few guys averaging close, a couple of guys close to 20. Point being 4 or close to over 10 points per game. They can put up some points. And Michigan State, they're my go-to. I don't know which one of these teams win it. I'd probably go with Michigan State, Louisville over Baylor or Florida. But I had to get some, I don't think, the point being, Michigan State, Louisville, they're like my number 1 seeds, or 2 seeds, whatever they end up. I think Baylor or Florida end up as like a 3 or 4 or 5 seed, somewhere in that range. And those are my lower seeds that make the Final Four. So I'll go Michigan State, Louisville, Baylor, Florida. You're going Duke, UNC, Kansas, and Gonzaga to win it. And for me to win it, if we want to go ahead and just go winner now, and then we can obviously revisit this
when the brackets come out.
But for right now, I'm going to go with Michigan State to win it all.
Interesting.
Yeah. You got to love the coach. I mean.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, too. Chris Mack, that's why Louisville, they're right there because they have Chris Mack, who they stole away from Xavier's still in the top 25. And, of course, he took over what Rick Pitino has, had Louisville on, just like he had Kentucky, always really good. So, very experienced team. North Carolina, same as, like I said, usual. And the main reason I'm picking Michigan State is certainly because of the head coach, Tom Izzo. I think it's been a few years since they've won. I think they're finally due to get back to the top again.
They're a good team.
Oh, as usual.
It's hard to predict at this time.
This time of the year. And then most of these guys, when you go through it, they're picking teams that are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I mean, they're picking the top-ranked teams, so which you kind of have to. Let's get to the NBA now. The NBA Finals predictions. Now, last spring, of course, which we would, just like we did with the NCAA, right? When the playoffs, because those are like a year long, we did our Finals predictions, did we not?
Yeah.
We had both, which I love. We went in the same boat there for a while. We had the Bucks over the Nuggets. Now, mine's kind of like this again. I do have the Bucks this year actually making it. But what happened last year? Why did they lose?
Injury, wasn't it? Wasn't it injury?
No, they faced someone in the Eastern Conference Finals and they got smacked around.
Would that be
Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors?
Oh, yeah.
So I have the Bucks. Now, they do make it to the Finals this year, but it's Kawhi Leonard again, but this time it's the Clippers that smack them around. And the Bucks lose to the Clippers in the NBA Finals. And what's crazy, we get to right now up top. It's crazy to see the Lakers sitting atop the Eastern or Western Conference Finals.
Yeah,
LeBron,
they won't be there at the end.
I'm really interested to see exactly how long they keep it. But 12-2, great to see them at 12-2. The Mavs, which we'll get into at the stud and dud moment. How about them at 9? Did you see the game Wednesday night?
I did not see, but I heard about it.
Ooh, we'll get into that in a minute. But anyway, so I've got the Clippers, which right now they're sitting right there at 4-10-5. Now they got Paul George, he's back and healthy, so it's Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and the rest in the gang. Which Patrick Beverly, who played for the University of Arkansas, because here's what's a little tidbit: Patrick Beverly left after his sophomore year. Great talent, one of those guys that I'm leaving early, and we're like, dude, you're not averaging probably even at the time like 14, maybe 12 to 14 points a game, maybe wasn't stellar. We were like, you could tell needs more help.
Yeah.
Where do you have to go to first? And we all called it over to Europe. He took the hard route, which a lot of them do, and thank gosh they do have it because they're over there. And luckily, living's cheap, and what do those smart ones do? They rack up the hundreds of thousands and close to millions they end up making over there because they end up making millions over there for 3, 4, 5 years for sure. Because those teams do pay like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mil a year for their better players. He comes back with millions in his back pocket. There's a great story back when he first came back. And now Patrick Beverly, here he is 10 years later back and still. Well, I mean, he played for Arkansas like 2006.
Wow, that's amazing.
Went over there for 3, 4, 5 years now, and then who was with the Rockets. Remember, he was with the Rockets and was their little defensive pest for years, and now is with the Clippers. And everyone knows who Patrick Beverly is almost now, but the defensive hound, and he's only like 6'3". He's not, but it's just a nightmare, and can go off and score a little bit. But that's what's funny now. I'm like, where did he get this? And where was this at Arkansas? Where was this mad crazy? Because he was Mr. Offense, so we just let him kind of jack up, and because he could score. I think he came from Chicago. I want to say it was like set scoring records. I want to say. Anyway, it was Mr. Scorer was supposed to be, and I'm like, man, this guy's a little everywhere. He needs to kind of tone it down, figure it out, and point being, awesome have that he has, and it'd be great to see him win a championship with the Clippers. Yeah. So who you got, Doc?
I have in the finals. I have the Boston Celtics.
Ooh, and they're looking great so far, sitting atop at 12-3. So they are sitting there early on. I think they continue that. They just lost in a battle in overtime to the Clippers.
Saw that.
Great
I
game.
Saw that.
That was after the Warriors.
They kind of let that one get away from them.
They did.
And they will be the Celtics will be playing the Dallas Mavericks in the finals.
Going with a little homer pick again, huh?
And the Mavericks win.
Wow, Joe, God, are we kidding ourselves here?
No, I'm not kidding myself. Come on, man.
So the Cowboys and the Mavs, we're going back-to-back homer pick, and that wink, wink, cough, cough. Cowboys your second Super Bowl pick too, by the way.
Have you seen the Mavs play, man?
I have. Luka, which we'll get into, is amazing. Are you nuts? He's by far the new stud of studs.
And they will be ahead of the Lakers before the end of the year. And I'll tell you, there's one word why: youth.
Yeah.
Youth.
Yep.
James will tire down the stretch. He's in the West, man. He's not in the East anymore. Yeah. He's in the West,
and that which is now and how it kind of has been the more of the tippy has more top teams. East is kind of caught back up, as in 76ers, Raptors, Heat, Celtics. Now Heat, that's where we're gonna get Heat. Where the Heat come from this year, 10-3. But they usually have 3 or 4. The Heat do is my point. Or Heat, the Eastern Conference, 3 or 4 maybe.
And did you watch the Lakers Mavs game earlier in the year? Mavs, that was a bad call that cost them that game. Mavs outplayed the.
Yep.
They'll
get another. They'll get to play him again.
Yeah.
So regardless, I'm gonna go Clippers over the Bucks. You're gonna go Mavs over the Celtics.
Yes.
4 total different teams.
Yes.
Glad we'll get to revisit this come playoff time and see where the teams are seated.
Mavs got Luka.
Oh, we'll get
Luka.
He's a stud. He's certainly a stud. And real quick though, the standings. I mean, I cannot believe. Obviously the Bucks, who I have them, they're at 12-3. Celtics at 11-3. I should say.
The Bucks,
they're tossing this. They're number 1 now.
Yeah.
I was looking at green. Celtics actually at number 2 at 11-3. But the Heat at 10-3. Wow, they've all of a sudden turned up the Heat. I cannot believe that. But a lot of people have the 76ers going all the way. Pacers are always pretty good too. They always kind of find a way to be. That's it though. After that, it really it's going to take a drop off this year. Nets are going to be hit or miss with that talent they try to bring in. But like I said, usually only about 4 teams, that are good in the East. Western Conference as usual, deep to about 7, sometimes 8 deep. Lakers 12-2. Nuggets, just like last year. I would love, obviously.
Yeah, right.
I would love even about as much as the Clippers being for Denver guy. God, I love to see the Nuggets even just back there again.
They could listen. It's a long season, injuries. Who knows, man?
I may have to catch it. I didn't think about that when I'm out there. I may have to do that. We're out there we're going out, for the Broncos game. Here in a month.
Why don't you go take in a basketball game?
Dude.
Come on, man. Why don't you?
Got to. You kidding me now?
You're there.
I watched one live on TV. I remember I was so sick last year. I remember watching it, trying to watch it, and having to go back to the bathroom that didn't have toilet paper. Woo, it was the worst. That was one of the worst nights ever. Having to stop on the way home and literally had to have every stop. Yeah. I'm like, but babe, stop. Oh, it was one of the worst. Anyway, man, I have to catch a game. What am I thinking? Got to. But
you should.
Mavs at 9-5 just looked great the other night. But so here's what's the 2 bottom teams. You would not think the 2 worst teams in the East West.
Thunder,
the Spurs, and the Warriors. The 2 teams that have been the two powerhouse, especially the Spurs. They have just slowly. I should say especially because of the Warriors.
Couldn't happen to a nicer coach.
Oh man.
I'm not a big Popovich fan, but
that's Steve. I don't think you're a big Steve Kerr fan.
I'm not a big Steve Kerr fan either. So I love
Warriors though.
Those 2 are at the bottom.
3-13. They're terrible. Let's just go ahead and we'll dive into in a second. Just the game real quick. They were getting destroyed by Luka the other night, and the Warriors were down 44. I think what was it? Yeah, 44-16 in the first quarter. I sound like I'm from the north now. Mavs had 44 first quarter points. Luka had 22. Yeah, he was 22, 5-5. Already, literally, 25 minutes in, that's all he played, supposedly stat-wise, as long as they've been keeping it, the quickest triple-double in history. 35 points, I forgot, but 10 and 10, whatever it was, but 35-point triple-double. But yeah, the quickest ever. Real quick, too. Anyway, they won 140. I won't get into the rest of the Luka for now, but 142-94, they destroyed. The Warriors are terrible. They were down 44-16 in the first quarter. I looked up, and I'm like, is this really happening? I loved it because I was watching it. We were out. Avery was doing a dog event. Here, I forgot what the place was called. Hot Stuff. I forgot what it's called. It's a cool little bar. Got to bring the dogs in. I'm watching the game, obviously knowing that it's right over, happening right here in town, just blowing them out. I'm like, this is cool to see.
Yeah.
The Warriors are just.
I love
what happened to you, Warriors? Steph Curry, he's one of the best all time. People try to put him in their all time starting 5. Seriously, when I was looking up, which now let's go ahead and dive into it. Almost like the Mount Rushmore, but a little bit different. our all-time starting five. MJ released his a few weeks ago. Of course, we'll dive into it. Magic himself, Scottie James, and then James Worthy and Hakeem Olajuwon. So who we went with. All-time starting five. Yeah, when I was looking this up. Steph Curry, are we for real? But let's just roll through this. We'll kind of have the current players when I first start off at these positions kind of roll into old school players. First, or the point guards. He's averaged, I think, at least once, if not twice. You got to have to put him up there. And now Luka's kind of taken over his new role as being the new premier point guard. But Russell Westbrook, a stud.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I'm doing all time. I'm just, like we always do, kind of going through the all-time number ones. Russell Westbrook. Another one lately, Chris Paul. Been as long as he's lasted, super stud. Steve Nash, stud. Won MVP I think twice. Jason Kidd, played for the Mavericks. Loved him growing up. Had some Jason Kidd shoes. Had so many of his cards. Loved Jason Kidd. Especially him, be a triple double waiting to happen a lot of the time because of his height. That's one thing too. You see this a lot lately. Just the point guards rebounding like you used to see a lot more of. You get my point. It just and a lot of it too is because you don't see the big guys rebounding like they used to. They're scared to get in. I'm like, yes, you see Russell Westbrooks of the world getting 10 rebounds a night, and I'm like, it kind of almost shows you. It also points to like where are the bigs? Where's Dennis Rodman's and all those guys grabbing 13 a night?
Right.
Anyway, Steph Curry, I just put him on there. John Stockton. Which, by the way, no one will ever touch his assist record. Like, not even close.
Right.
He's like 8,000 away from anyway. Dr. J, he's more of a 3. I don't know why he's on there. I forgot to put him down, actually. I forgot to erase him. Mr. Triple-Double. And he was close to making my, anyway. He's really one of the ones close to making my list. The Big O, Oscar Robinson. Great. Jerry West. Havlicek. Isaiah Thomas. Bob Cousy. Gary Payton. Any of those guys could lead a team to a championship and lead. Hey, that's who I want at my number one.
Correct.
At the twos, which I did leave off at number one, you'll see why. James Harden, James Harden, definitely Kobe Bryant, Jordan, Gervin, Rick Barry, Drexler, Pistol Pete. The threes, LeBron James, Dr. J, Bird, Pippen, Elgin Baylor to go back, Dominique Wilkins, can't forget that Duncan powerhouse. At the fours, Kevin Garnett, KD, Kevin Durant, Dirk, obviously, being here in Dallas, Duncan, Barkley, Malone, Worthy, Moses Malone. At the fives, you got the Admiral, David Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaq Ewing, Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Bill Jabbar, plenty others. My gosh, you could literally go. You could make two, you could go 2 deep, 3 deep here if you wanted to, easy on both, you could have a huge bench.
Yes.
So, Doc, your all-time starting five. Let's start with the ones and go to 5. Who's your point guard? Work your way to center.
Westbrook.
Go. Number 1, you're going Russell Westbrook.
I think he's one of the greatest players of all time.
Oh, he certainly is. His athletic ability. Derrick Rose, before he got injured, would have been Russell Westbrook. His athletic ability, he could dunk. I don't think he would ever have the 10 rebounds a game, maybe, but he averaged like 7 or 8 in his MVP season. You know what I mean? He was up, but I love Derrick Rose, same type player. When you see a guy 6'2", 6'3",
yeah,
act like he's Michael, that he's 6'4", 6'6", 6'7", 6'8". You're like,
I think his aggressiveness. That guy's is amazing baseball.
So all right, number 1. Oh yeah, number 1, Russell Westbrook. Who's your number 2? Who's your shooting guard?
Michael Jordan.
The GOAT. My GOAT.
Your
GOAT too, right?
Yeah. What?
I'm just making sure.
Who would you put in?
Yeah, I don't know. You could argue someone else like Kobe or.
Could you imagine Russell Westbrook and Michael Jordan in his prime playing together? Could you imagine that?
They'd be throwing a lot of oops to each other, and you'd be saying who's going to get higher than who.
Could you just
I know. You're doing this all night. Did you? We'd still somehow be shocked every time.
Imagine?
I know. Number 3, who you got? So you got number 1, Russell Westbrook. At your 2, shooting guard, Michael Jordan. At the 3 spot,
Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson. You're going to put him because he can play anywhere. You go 1 to 5.
I'm going Magic Johnson.
I love that. So that's the thing. And I almost did that with mine. I didn't almost go traditional. Because you could put players anywhere.
Yeah, Magic Johnson can play anywhere you want him.
That too. But you get my point. You could put like a. I was almost going to put like a Kobe at the 3 position to go with him and Jordan on the same team. Imagine that. How you stopping that?
Yeah.
You get my point. Those 2 scores. But anyway, you get my point. So run through them again, 1 through 3.
Right, Westbrook, Jordan, Johnson,
and at the 4,
Kevin Durant.
Ooh, Kevin Durant. I love it. Dad almost dropped him today. He's like, man, he was at 40. He was like, man, could you get another ultimate scorer?
Could you now just think Magic Johnson and Kevin Durant?
I know, right? All right, now at 5, who's down low, beasting it?
This is really hard.
That 5 is, I think, the hardest one.
It's hard, but I tell you, man, in his prime, I want aggressiveness. I want power.
Yeah.
I want thickness.
It sounds like you're going to who I went with, maybe.
I'm going with the Shaq.
The Diesel.
Oh my God.
The Shaq.
Put
The Shaq daddy.
down low.
He's pretty powerful.
Right. So just think about the Shaq.
Yeah.
Right. Big man.
Big man.
Big man.
Super big.
So I got
Run through your 5 again.
Westbrook, Jordan, Johnson, Durant, and Shaq.
Powerful. Great lineup. A scoring lineup. Love it. Hey, you're more new school than I thought you would go to.
I mixed. I did a little more new school.
All right.
And that's hard because I'm a Pistol Pete fan.
I know. What happened? I thought he was for sure yours. You thought about it a little bit more.
Well, I love it, but I think that if I had to put together a team to play in today's NBA and compete, man, yeah.
There you go. All right. So here's what I'm gonna. There's nothing from this generation in mine. They're all 3 of them are Jordans, and here's what I want. If I'm gonna put the 5 out there, I don't want maybe the 5. I want the team that I know when they're out there, they're gonna be so cohesive, like killers, blood killers. Like they're out stone cold killers, ice running through their veins. Don't want I want they can play together, and it's gonna be nasty. Number 1 at the point. Magic Johnson. That height, at a point guard position, 6'8", 6'9", at that height.
That's pretty impressive.
2, I'm not on my feet today, but you kidding me? It's Michael Jordan. Here's where I thought about, and like I said, and at number 1, I thought about maybe having Oscar Robinson, but Magic Johnson at number 1 for sure. Michael Jordan at 2. And who plays best with Michael Jordan? Scottie Pippen at the 3-point. Could have been LeBron. Could have went Bird. Almost went even Kobe. Because I think Kobe, they'd play. But
I just don't think Scottie Pippen, man.
See, here's why. 20. I don't need him to score. Even though he's averaged 20 plus, he averaged 20 plus a game. He was and is one of the best defenders of all time. Michael Jordan got the award more, certainly so, and is the only person in the Hall of Fame with 2. He's got defensive. Michael Jordan is the only one in the Hall of. He has. I think he averaged 2.5. He averages the most steals for anyone in the Hall of Fame. Michael Jordan does almost 3 steals a game. He averaged. But I need that secondary defensive player. Him and look what they did together. That's what I want. That's where I went. I could have gone Bird. I could have went Kobe. Could go LeBron for athletic, super athlete. But like anyone said, put Pippen because he was size. He was thick. He's 6'7". He's a little taller than Jordan. Put him on anybody. He's locking him down. That's what I want. Put him on Kobe. You know what I'm saying. So at the number 4, that's why I have him there. Mainly because that cohesiveness, he finishes them out, and he's locking down your best scorer.
Yeah. And see, I want to sell tickets. So
yeah, there you go. See, I want to win.
I'm
Jordan.
I want to sell some tickets. So Pippen's
at the 4,
Pippen's out, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And at the number 4 position, I'm going Barkley. Because now I'm going down low. I want 2 guys that get down in the pit. You're not getting a rebound if I have these 2 guys down low. You're probably not, unless you have Barkley, that big old butt. Even though he's only 6'6", 6'7".
That's a good point.
He's getting he averaged. Envy got it anyway. That dude with your man, which I was like, literally, like I said, Chamberlain. You go Bill Russell, Abdul-Jabbar. But I want 2 guys down low, 2 of the thickest bodies you could ever imagine. That, and even like the 4 position was really hard. I almost went. You could go Duncan. You could even go big instead of like at the 3 position. I could go like Malone, Duncan. I could go down low, Barkley, Malone, Shaq. You know what I mean? There's so many cool lineups you could tweak with. But if you want your number 1 5-on-5, they're going to play to 21 essentially. Number 1 Magic, at the 2 spot Jordan, at the 3 Pippen, at the 4 Barkley, and down low the Diesel Shaq Daddy. Because like you said, just that dominance. And then you pair him up, you put Barkley out there. You get my point. Here's now. Let's just for fun, we'll do matchup on matchup. So I'm gonna leave Magic on Westbrook. If we went defense, it's probably this how it'd work out. Jordan's on Jordan, which is funny. Pippen, who's your 3 again?
Magic.
So here's what I'm doing. Here's what's going to be funny. Barkley is going to be on Magic, and I'm going to put Pippen on KD. So he's locking down your ultimate in that length on length there. I could, but I can't have Barkley on KD. That ain't working. I was just thinking about how we're gonna do this matchup.
And I'm not sure. Pippen on KD is gonna work either.
That's what's funny. He not only would for sure shut him down, he'd have no inside game. He's gonna have to have his 3 game on, and that's what he's gonna have to rely to.
Right. So now here's what I want you to imagine. I want you to imagine Westbrook in his prime, right? Which, like now, I want you to imagine KD in his prime. I want you to imagine. Shaq in his prime, right? And who am I leaving out? I want you to imagine
my man, the GOAT, Jordan.
No, keep him out for now. My 4 guys: Westbrook,
KD. Who's your 3 guy again? Magic
in his prime.
Yeah.
And Shaq. I want you to imagine those 4 guys in their prime standing center court in the gym, and they're going to announce who's going to be the guy that is going to lead them. And then imagine those 4 guys standing there and seeing Michael Jordan in his prime walking out of the tunnel, coming onto the floor.
Right.
You don't have to worry about cohesiveness. Those 4 guys are going to play their butts off around Jordan.
It takes some time at first, I'll tell you that, because even the Dream Team. Here's what's so funny: the Dream Team.
Yes.
One of the greatest stories ever. They played the Rook because of how they practiced before '92. They played the badass up and coming Rook. All the rookies, Chris Webber, all the guys that were still actually in college. They beat them. They beat the Dream Team. Jordan's like, and here's what would happen. That's why it would take a game or two, because then Jordan they went out like, this ain't gonna happen again. They went out and played the very next day or whatever it was. The next time they played each other, those rookies didn't score a point. Score a point.
My point.
But also, Magic's leading the group. Jordan and Pippen are on that team.
Well,
Shaq's not there yet.
That's because Magic
here's my
was kind
thing.
of the senior statesman at that time.
Here's my only, because I don't know how you would even put him on there. I'm gonna leave the Thunder and go KD. He's my only question on yours, and if he's that cohesive problem.
Yeah, I'm talking about Oklahoma City KD.
Yeah. See, before he developed this what happened to you wearing backpacks and being like, you know what I mean? When you were a cool dork that went to I loved him then. Everyone did.
Everyone did.
What happened to this guy? Who's this guy now, I should say?
I think he just felt like he tried to and I hope
we're right there together.
I hope he returns to that. But that's the KD I'm talking about.
Okay, that KD
guy.
For sure could play. This one now, you're gonna have trouble.
This KD now, you're right. But that's why I'm talking before
It'd be
we got
fun
all
to see,
whacked.
though. Wouldn't it be fun to see?
Oh my gosh,
it'd be great. All right, imagine seeing Jordan face Jordan. See, instead of me putting Magic on Magic, Magic is actually guarding Westbrook, and then Pippen on KD. It'd be great to see. Seeing Barkley face Magic. Then Shaq on Shaq.
You know what the defensive Jordan would say about the offensive Jordan? I can't guard him.
Yeah, right. It'd be so funny. It would be funny. Like, we're going to cancel each other out. I'm going to get 0 points. He's going to get 0 points. Or he's going to have 100. I'm going to have 100. It's going to be one or the other.
He's too good.
Let's get into the guy we both love and cannot wait to talk about. Luka. My gosh, has he not gone off? Could very well average a triple-double this year. He's over obviously the 20 and 10 on rebounds, but right now he's at 29.9 points per game, 10.6 rebounds per game. But the assists, he's got to start off, or he could still finish stronger. He's at 9.4 now, so he's still right there. It's not that he just needs to kind of push that assist, because as the year goes on, it's hard to move that number up. So, but still, even getting close to being the name with Russell Westbrook and Big O, Oscar Robertson. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much Mr. Triple-doubles. Great to see, and especially at his age. He's like 20 years old, whatever. I think he's 20, the youngest ever to have a lot of these. What he's doing.
Could you imagine him in college?
Oh man,
what would he be doing on the college basketball?
It would have been great to see him. He'd been playing like at Butler or something, or Wichita State probably too.
Lucas scored 324 points tonight.
Right. Seventh triple double this season. That's the second most in the first 14 games. The only person ahead of him, that's even ahead of Westbrook's pace, which is crazy. Is the man, the Mr. Triple Double, who still has the most ever, Oscar Robertson, who had 11 in his first 14 games one year. That is, I loved Oscar. He was certainly a stud. Loved the name too, Oscar. But Luka, congrats to him. Glad Mavs better keep him around. He better be the new Dirk that's here for. I mean, obviously they're saying the other, Nowitzki or whatever it is, Drive or Avenue, whatever. There better be a Luka or Don, whatever. There better be one of those soon.
As much as I love Dirk, Luka is so much more has so much more athleticism.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's hard when you're 7 foot to be athletic.
Dirk,
Dirk for his size, you got to admit, especially in his prime, he's one of the most athletic
and there was nothing
freaks
more.
there were.
Did you ever go watch? I love Dirk. Don't get me wrong, but did you see him his last year? Did you ever see him play?
I've met him getting up and on the court.
Well, first of all, I don't know too many 40-year-olds that could hang.
Oh, right.
First of all, let's say that. How many 40-year-olds?
Imagine me, even us two, for fun, us two versus Dirk. He'd be draining, we'd be trying to guard him.
Yeah, so let me put it in perspective so people don't think I'm just being ridiculous. I mean, no 40-year-old can go out and do what Dirk could do. But Dirk at 40 looked really, really slow against those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Against you and me, he'd look really fast.
Yeah. But got to give some props to Luka. Great start to the year. I love the number, 77. My number's 7, so I love 7. I love that. I was like, this is so cool. Love the guy, so definitely kind of cool to see.
That's awesome.
On next week's show, or I should say the next show, because next week we're off for Thanksgiving. It's back to the Mount. This time it's for food, like I previewed earlier, the Mount Rushmore of Thanksgiving. What's up, Doc? We'll have a lot of time. We'll definitely dive into your trip as well. I mean, have a lot of Thanksgiving thing to talk about, what we did, watch some football, talk about your trip, how the catfish hole was. Can't wait. I'm like, right now, seriously thinking about it. Literally. Yeah, I mean, I've now went from, I literally just burped. I don't even know how I burped. I'm like, I haven't even eaten any. Well, that's why I haven't really eaten much today. I kind of munched earlier, but I mean, it wasn't much, to give you the burp. And I'm like, now like getting hungry and
you
like
need
burping.
to go eat, man.
Like, I want some Thanksgiving food. I want that's what I love about it too. It's like a buffet.
Yeah, we'll wrap this thing up so I can go eat.
All that and much more 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks.
2 weeks from right now, maybe we get Chef Kent Rathbone back on.
Absolutely.
That would be good. If not, no big deal. But to talk about food, it'd be a great episode.
And to all our listeners, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Literally,
let us say
the week
thanks
of
to
thanks.
you.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us. Literally, and more obviously that will come with the show. We'll keep growing. But yeah, thank you for every one of you, each one of you out there.
Absolutely,
it's amazing. Don't forget to subscribe to us. So if you hadn't already, it's your first one, or if you maybe still haven't yet, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, SoundCloud. That's where you can hear all the episodes. You want to view them? You can go over to YouTube, and that's where you can see these things. Of course, the website, studnub.com. Got everything on there. It's beautiful. Love it, Doc. And, of course, we're on Facebook. We're on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. So that's where you can follow us. Give us some likes, some comments. Let us know how the studs were. Let us know what you think about the show. Until next week, or I should say the next couple weeks from now, Doc, you have a lovely Thanksgiving with your kids.
Likewise.
Fam, your wife.
You and Avery have a great Thanksgiving.
Yes. Hey, us and the dogs. It's until the kid comes along. Oh, well, literally. We'll have that show one day. But yeah, exactly. You have a good Thanksgiving. Thanks to you, all you guys. Thank you, Doc, for having this show.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yes. Y'all have a great week. See you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Peace.